One is the legacy media is holding on by the skin of its teeth. Look, I think I should start by saying a few things about my background, because I have come through many media, and some are gone now, like news weeklies. I got my start at two small town newspapers, the Plano Star Courier in Plano, Texas, and the Iowa City Press Citizen in Iowa City, Iowa. So I actually got to hear a city desk reporter yell out, "Stop the presses." And I heard the whole machinery stop. That was back in the day when you clipped articles from newspapers in order to keep a record of the past. For my sins, I then ended up at 60 Minutes in a wonderful job working for Morley Safer, who taught me really. That was my apprenticeship in writing words for picture. So I had been through phases of media, and I've seen this transition. I can still remember when I went to Germany as a freelancer, there was no internet. I don't know if you remember them, but you would take your phone and you would jam it down into these rubber cups, and you would dial a number, and you'd hear a screaming, shrieking noise, and your story would be transmitted through those cups to the other side. The first image I ever saw on screen on a computer, now we're watching everything on computer screens, but the first one I ever saw was a photograph of Vlad the Impaler, the real historical Dracula, for an article I wrote on the Dracula tourism business in Romania. I didn't know what I was going to see. And slowly but surely they filled in, and there was Vlad, an ancient painting of Vlad the Impaler. So when you ask me what do I think of where we are, it's a vast question. These are shark-infested waters now. But that's when I left. And at that point, I met with Walter Isaacson at Time, and he was just like, look, you can see for yourself, this is not a growth industry. So I had a friend at NBC who was at Dateline, and he said, maybe think about 60 Minutes, because they're sort of the last place that still wants print journalism. So that began my career in broadcast and the visual media. And so all this keeps on going to the point now where you look at what's happening at 60 Minutes, and you look what kind of pressure they're under, and you look at how their numbers over the last couple of decades since I was there have kept shrinking. But so when I think about this moment, I think two things.